my god, Owen and Cristina's kissing scenes are a mess, honestly. Like, every time they kiss, it's like he's attacking her. They both seem to do this weird middle school dance move where they awkwardly twist their heads against each other like they're trying to break each other's necks. It's so awkward, it's almost hilarious. As much as I hate to admit it, I have to blame Owen for this disaster. Like, the way he cheats out, which is a theater term for when you angle your body diagonally so the audience can see you better, just makes it look like he's overacting his way through every kiss. I'm convinced that's why they're so gross. He literally attacks her face every single time, and it's just not a good look. I really can't stand Owen. It's such a shame because he started out so humble, he was vulnerable, asked for help when he needed it. And the actor is so nice in real life, so it's disappointing to see the character go downhill. They could have taken him in such a different direction, but instead, we get this cringeworthy mess. And can we talk about their angst? Owen and Cristina were the angsty couple of the show. People still act like Cristina had no emotions, but have they not seen her literally crying in like 70% of her scenes with Owen? Seriously, they had zero chemistry. Like, two people who've never kissed anyone in their life were suddenly told to make out. It's just aggressive face-eating, and not in a hot way. Oh, Meredith Grey, right? The woman who somehow became the face of modern medicine, despite half of her career being a roller coaster of questionable decisions and borderline liability. Sure, her mom, Ellis Grey, is a massive factor. She was the queen of surgery. Then there's the whole Harper Avery stomach transplant thing, which was a huge deal, even though Meredith never actually finished any of the research or trials she started. But yeah, I get it. She's a skilled surgeon, so that earns her some credit, but the global obsession with her? That's harder to explain. Take that whole situation with the guy from Minnesota who basically hands her a lab and asks her to cure Parkinson's. I mean, did I miss something? Why is Meredith being sought out for these huge opportunities when she's already been involved in things like insurance fraud? Seriously, her name used to mean something, but now it feels like it's more about her family legacy and the drama surrounding her than any actual groundbreaking contributions. And don't get me started on that research project with Amelia and Kai. The idea that anyone would want Meredith's name attached to it is laughable at this point. Like, sure, she survived plane crashes, been married to Derek, the golden boy of neurosurgery, won the Harper Avery Award, but at this point, those accomplishments are just part of her character arc, not anything to do with real talent. Let's be real, if she were anyone else, she'd be considered a liability. Her attitude toward the insurance fraud was enough to make anyone second-guess putting her anywhere near a major project. Now, let's talk about the neuroscience thing. Meredith, neuro is not her thing. Amelia is the one with the expertise, the experience, and the track record. So when people act like Meredith is suddenly this neuro genius, I just don't get it. She spent most of her career in general surgery, never really diving deep into the kind of neuro work that would make her a true expert. And honestly, it feels like the show really gives Meredith more credit than she deserves. Cristina Yang deserved that Harper Avery, hands down. It's her mom's legacy too, and Cristina was the one actually paving the way. But hey, it's Meredith's world, and we're just living in it. And if that means she gets a pass for being reckless, then sure, let's pretend she's as brilliant as everyone thinks she is. Amelia. Seriously, I never realized just how aggravating she was until I started rewatching the coronavirus season. How did Link even deal with her? It was like everything in her world was always somehow about her, even when it had nothing to do with her. She'd hear some bad news, and instead of being supportive, she'd immediately launch into a list of all the ways her life was falling apart because of it. Like, girl, nobody's asking for the pity party. And don't even get me started on her and Owen. She casually tells him she wants 3 to 4 kids. Then when she gets a pregnancy scare, she's freaking out, angry at him for wanting kids. Like, I'm no fan of Owen. He messed things up with Cristina big time, but I actually think he's justified here. Amelia's whole, I want kids, then I can't handle kids thing is way too dramatic for me. Amelia literally makes every situation about herself. Remember when Meredith was going through absolute hell after being attacked by that patient? Amelia shows up and makes it all about her, whining about how she can't stay sober. Seriously, Meredith almost died again, and you're over here talking about your sobriety issues? I mean, the actress is incredible, but there's no way I'm ever going to like Amelia as a character. She's so consistently selfish, and it's like she can't even communicate properly. Then, when people act on the things she did say, she blows up like they're the ones who got it wrong. Like in this situation, she told Owen she wanted kids, but didn't bother to explain her reaction when it became real. So who's really in the wrong here? So I just watched the episode where Meredith drops the bomb on Riggs that Megan's alive, and honestly, I found it kind of beautiful. I mean, no big deal, right? Just the long-lost love of his life returning after 10 years in enemy captivity. But hey, no harm done, right? She's totally fine, and absolutely no emotional baggage. Because, of course, no one in this universe has any regrets about the last decade. Megan probably just woke up one day, rubbed her eyes, and thought, yep, totally worth it. And Meredith? Oh, she's all smiles for Riggs, genuinely thrilled for him. No jealousy, no mixed emotions, just pure joy. After all, Derek's dead, so why wouldn't she be happy to see her ex-husband's possible replacement get his happy ending? Classic Meredith. But seriously, I really appreciated the scene where she tells Riggs about Megan being found, because, let's be real, that was somehow the least dramatic breakup on the show, despite the whole captured for a decade by the enemy subplot. Just another Tuesday, right? This episode was an absolute riot. I'm still cracking up thinking about it. The cookies? Pure gold. Every single person who had one had me in stitches. Let's dive into some of the top moments. Arizona forgetting the cookies had weed in them after explicitly telling Meredith they did, then acting like she was shocked when everything went downhill. Like we all saw that coming, Arizona. Catherine searching for her glasses, only for them to be right on top of her head. Classic. Karev with his food baby. Just, well, classic Karev. Maggie trying to figure out that skeleton table thing. I really don't know what it's called, but we're all with you, Maggie. And then there's Kepner and Bailey making bagpipe sounds with their noses. I'm sorry, what? It's these rare, unexpected moments from the usually serious characters that get me every time. But let's be real, the cherry on top was the end of the night when Maggie finally got her giant cheeseburger. She deserved that. And can we talk about Bailey slowly spinning around on the operating table, looking like she had no idea what was happening? Oh, Bailey, this is your brain on drugs. Classic. And how about Alex with his Owen chips? Don't ask. Just don't. It's pretty obvious who's been high before based on how realistically they were acting. But overall, what a fun, hilarious episode. Why the hate for the coronavirus season? As an Asian living outside of America, I'm watching this season of Grey's Anatomy for the first time, and I've seen a lot of posts from people on Reddit who are unhappy with how the show handled BLM, coronavirus, and a bunch of other social issues. Here's my take. These are tough topics, and when you talk about them directly, no sugarcoating, it tends to make people uncomfortable. Why? Because these issues challenge their egos, pride, and belief systems, and I actually love that. Sometimes, difficult subjects need to be tackled head-on. There wasn't any exaggeration in the season, just hard truths that many people have already lived through. Some folks just don't want to admit that. Now, for me, I was watching Grey's as an escape. So when I tune in, hoping for some mindless drama, I ended up watching the same real-world problems I was dealing with in my own life. Not exactly a fun time. That said, I've always felt Grey's did a good job with heavy topics. They used to weave them into the plot and the characters' lives in a way that made it all hit harder. Like that scene with Bailey and Ben sitting down with Tuck, teaching him how to act around police. It still gives me chills. It was powerful, but later in the season, it started feeling lazy to me. Instead of showing us what these issues look like, they started just telling us, like they were reading out Tumblr posts. The messages themselves weren't bad, but if you just want to lecture the audience, maybe try a documentary instead of a TV show. For me, it wasn't the topics themselves. I think coronavirus was handled fine. It's just that, honestly, the season was kind of boring. Grey's Anatomy has definitely got to be one of the most rewatched shows in history. Don't ask me for stats. This is just my unsubstantiated opinion based on the people I've spoken to about it. And let me tell you, everyone I've talked to has watched it multiple times, including me, of course. I'm currently on my third rewatch. First time around, it was around season 12. Then came the coronavirus era, where I dove back in when it hit around season 18 or 19. Now, well, I'm on season 6 again. I know, I'm a mess. And somehow there are now 21 seasons. Who knew? I'm not gonna lie, the coronavirus season kind of made me want to throw my remote through the screen. But hey, I love the show. It's easy to watch, like the TV equivalent of comfort food. So I'm powering through those less than thrilling moments because, well, I'm invested. And let's just hope Shonda Rhimes leaving didn't completely kill the vibe of the show, because if it did, I'm in denial about it. But for now, Grey's Anatomy is still definitely my jam. Okay, here it is. I have an unpopular opinion, and I'm bracing for the backlash. I love Cristina Yang. Love her. But hear me out, I don't want her to come back. Sandra Oh has absolutely crushed it after leaving Grey's, taking on amazing roles and growing as an actor. And honestly, her coming back would feel like taking a giant step backward, not forward. Look at George Clooney. He left ER at the peak of his career, then came back to pay tribute to the show that launched him. But Sandra doesn't need that. She's beyond Cristina Yang now. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying she shouldn't return if the timing and story are right. But honestly, it almost feels like people are suggesting she'd be tainted if she came back, which is just ridiculous. If anything, it would be a brilliant way to show how far she's come, while still giving a nod to the Grey's legacy. In fact, I bet she'll be back in the final season. And honestly, why wouldn't she? She's way past being defined by one character. An episode or two would be awesome for fans, and wouldn't hurt her career in the slightest. Look, I'll admit it, Cristina Yang is my favorite. But I cheered when she left. She deserved better than what Grey Sloane could ever give her. Was she perfect? Absolutely not. But I liked her a lot, and deep down, I knew she needed to leave and stay gone. How it should have ended, with magic, obviously. So this is my version of what really should have happened. But I can't be bothered to write fan fiction because, let's be honest, I'm way too lazy for that. But hey, I'm also not too shy to talk about this show. I just started watching it recently, and let me tell you, the biggest betrayal was how they totally ruined Izzy's character for no good reason. I mean, they had her doing stuff that was completely out of character. Let's talk about Denny's storyline for a second. I totally bought that Izzy fell for her patient, because, let's face it, she gets attached way too easily. Addison even tried to give her a lesson, but nope, Izzy wasn't listening. But then, when she cuts the LVAD wire a little too enthusiastically, I was like, wait, wasn't she supposed to be the God-fearing one? Where'd that go? I would have loved it if, instead of pulling some shady stunt to steal an organ, she had seen the patient about to get Denny's heart and changed her mind. She wouldn't have been able to go through with it. That would have been so much more true to her character. Izzy was a genuinely nice person, not a criminal. That would have been way more impactful. Then, instead of getting fired, they could have given her a sabbatical and boom. She's just a broken heart trying to save the one she loved. Now, George and Izzy, they were pure magic okay. While Meredith was all twisted up, Cristina was basically a robot, and Alex was, well, the spawn of Satan. George and Izzy were sunshine and rainbows. The writers were straight-up idiots for pairing them with other people. They were each other's person, duh. I mean, it's obvious. Instead of George and Callie being a thing, I think George should have just chosen Maggie because, honestly, he cared about everyone, especially Izzy. He would have had a hard time picking a side. He even flunked his exams because he cared about Meredith too much. But in the end, George would have picked Maggie. That would have driven Callie crazy, and honestly, I think Callie could have had a much more interesting storyline if she'd eventually gone for Erica or Arizona. Oh, and can we please talk about how perfect it would have been if George came out as gay? It would have been a complete game changer, but nope, they just couldn't let Meredith and Alex be a thing. I'm still not sure why they kept those two apart. It was just, now Cristina and Burke, I love them together, but Burke wanted kids, and I can't deal with that. Plus, the actor playing Burke wasn't exactly winning any Most Pleasant Person awards. So, yeah, let's just pretend he didn't exist. Cristina needed someone who didn't want kids, didn't care about marriage, and who let her go out and do amazing things. Because, let's face it, she was an incredible surgeon. Alex's character arc, though, chef's kiss. His transition into pediatrics was just perfect. And don't even get me started on Slexy. They were amazing, like, actually adorable. Bailey, God, I love her, but the whole I hate my 5 pups shtick got old real quick. It was funny at first, but by the time the season stretched on, it was just repetitive. Let it go, girl. But let's be real, Essex should have been the endgame from the start. Izzy was the reason Alex became close to Maggie in the first place. The whole Izzy letter thing felt like such a cop-out. It was so weird and out of character for her. I mean, remember when she tried to talk after their first awkward attempt at sex? She didn't run away, she wanted to have a conversation. And let's not pretend Alex was some saint in their marriage. He was abusive too. I feel like the shooting episode was the perfect moment for them to get back together, take things slow, and finally get their happy ending. It also would have been the perfect time for Callie and Maggie to bury the hatchet. In the end, though, the show should have wrapped up with Maggie in Season 10. Let them have their happy ending, whether it was pursuing their careers in different states or whatever. Then bring in a whole new cast. This would have left the audience wanting more. And hey, they could have had cameos from the old gang, which would have been so fun to watch. But honestly, I don't remember half of what I originally thought. I might edit this post later, or maybe just delete it because, well, I'm way too obsessed with happy endings and rom-coms. Now that I've gotten this off my chest, I can finally study, hopefully,